If you watch anime, you know there are shockingly few centered around the artist's journey. With all these artists making your favorite shows every season, you'd expect one or two of them to relate back to the artist experience. Blue Period is the epitome of those expectations. The Blue Period anime is hitting me with relatable experiences like I'm in a boxing match or something. In comes the straight, boom, a relatable drawing exercise. Next comes the hook with the impactful composition advice. I'm absolutely blown away. If you're already drawing, the main character, Yatora Yaguchi, I hope I'm getting that right, he feels like he steps right into your shoes. And if you're just learning, you really can learn a lot from his experience. Yatora is a relatable character right from the start. You don't have to be an artist to know what it's like to experience when you don't know what you're passionate about. I didn't realize I wanted to be an artist until I was about to graduate from college, and I had a very similar, tearful conversation with my parents, but it was over the phone. After that, similar to Yatora, I went through a period of just discovery about art. It was kind of a roller coaster. I would go from understanding a little bit about art, then being exposed to new information and realizing that I know nothing, and then I would really hurry and try to fill in all the gaps of my knowledge. And then the roller coaster would just start again. I'd be back at the top learning new information, realizing I don't really know anything. That still happens today, just not quite at the same quick pace as it did back then. There's so much to know about art and there's so much to learn. It's interesting to watch Yatora go through those same steps that I used to go through and that you all have either gone through or will go through as artists. I think the hardest thing that you'll face as an artist, and what Blue Period captures so well, is the emotional toll of being an artist. Practically in every episode, Yatora is crying, and it can be like that sometimes. Every decision you make in art and every piece that you make is kind of tied to your heart in a way. You leave yourself vulnerable when you create. Coming to terms with things like failure and a hard critique can be a struggle for a new budding artist. It can still be a struggle even when you're experienced. Before I became aware of Blue Period, which was only a few weeks ago, I really loved Bakuman. It's another manga that became an anime, and it was also about the artist experience, but very specifically to the mangaka experience. Bakuman has its own unique and incredible story, but Blue Period is more grounded to what it's like for the general art experience. It shows how most of you start. Despite what career path you may take, Yatora ends up being a relatable character not just because he's finding his passion, but because he has very relatable experiences. For example, one of the most relatable experiences that I found so far was when Yatora did the white plaster cast drawings. I hit a period in my art where I was frustrated with my progress. I felt like I hit an art block that I could not get over. And you can do two things when an art block hits you. You can give up and bask in the feeling of failure, which you will eventually get over, probably. Or you can switch it up and try to shake yourself out of it. I chose the extreme version of that and decided to go to an atelier school in Sweden. Even though Yatora went to a place in his own city and I went across the country, we still had a very similar experience of doing those cast drawings. So these cast drawings are usually called bard drawings. You can even find a book on it, and they're used to train your observation skills and teach you how to really master your use of your materials, your pencil, charcoal, whatever you may be using. It's very popular for atelier schools and any academic setting. Picasso himself, which they mention in the anime, the very first episode, did a set of all of the bard drawings, I believe, in the book. People today, including myself, even have used them for digital drawings. It's an exercise that literally spans generations of artists. If Picasso was alive today and he watched anime, I think he would relate to Yatora's experience too. Yatora is not a typical shonen hero. He's not a genius. He doesn't have any other special skill other than being himself. He does learn quickly, but it's because he applies way more effort than the people around him. When his teacher gave out assignments, he did 30 drawings instead of what they were told to do, which was a fraction of that. He's in the studio when no one else is there painting. You don't have to be a workaholic, but it shows that if you put in more effort, you're going to see more improvement. There are so many lessons that you can take away from the Blue Period anime. I wrote down at least 20 for each episode, but I will just leave you with a few of the most impactful ones that I've found so far. Compliment skill over talent. Talent implies that you put in no effort. Surround yourself with people who encourage you. Every artist is comparing themselves to another artist. More effort will always give you faster progress. Observe a variety of art to understand more about it. And composition provides the impact to your art. And this is only from the Blue Period anime. I've heard the manga has even more, which I will read when I'm waiting for season 2. What you can expect from Blue Period is depth. Depth of knowledge, emotion, and story. If I were to cover all of the lessons that I've gleaned from Blue Period, I would need hundreds of articles. You only need to observe and learn from the things that relate to you the most. And then maybe in a few years you can come back to it, watch it again, or watch the new season and see what else you can relate to and potentially learn from. I'm a seasoned student as an artist. I've been to tons of different schools, practice lots of different techniques, used different mediums. I've been exposed to a wealth of knowledge and expertise from the best and sometimes worst the industry has to offer. Watching Blue Period is like watching flashes of my past, but also reminding me that I've learned a lot, and when I go into this next journey to bridge the gap to where I am now to what I believe is a pro level, I think that I can make a lot better decisions and hopefully help you make smarter decisions so that you can bridge that gap from beginner to pro a lot quicker and smoother than I did. If you want to be a successful artist, you should take the lessons of Blue Period to heart. Be kind to yourself. If you've seen anything from the show, you can see that Yatora is emotionally fragile as he creates his work and interacts with all of the other students. You have to remember to be kind to yourself on this journey. How long has that been off? You should know there is no really end to art or a finish line per se. You're always going to want to keep improving as an artist, and you get to define the terms of what success means to you. But even if you end up working at some place like Disney or Netflix, you're an artist. You're just still going to want to push yourself higher. As a final note, Blue Period can inspire you and teach you how to get better at drawing. If you like anime and you're an artist, go check it out. This isn't sponsored or anything, I just think it's an awesome anime and an incredible resource for artists and a really great source of art inspiration. So check it out if you haven't, and if you have, leave a comment below with your favorite part so far. There's only 4 episodes, but I will be watching the whole thing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.